Hi everybody, April here with Second Star Journal. Welcome to week 10 of my Project Life Process video. This week's spread, I am using my LE Studio January subscription kit. I really loved the colors of this kit and was so excited to use it. So the first card I am going to work on is my title card. Now I grabbed my Citrus Twist Weekish stamp set and I am just kind of playing around to see what size week I want to use. And I pull over that LE Studio label. This is going to be my date stamp, or date label, sorry. And I liked how that smaller week kind of fit the same length as that label. So I go ahead and grab that in my spare piece of paper because this is going to be my first time using this specific stamp. So I do want to prep it and kind of stamp it to see if it's going to have a solid stamp. Now, just as I was about to test it on that spare piece of paper, I noticed it had a little small area where the ink wasn't really sticking to, so I just kind of add some more ink and test it out, and you can kind of see here what I'm talking about. It had a little line. But I go ahead and decide to go for it and I stamp it again and just double check to make sure that area had enough ink and stamp it down, and it came out perfect. While I clean off that stamp and put it away, I will say real quick that this week's process video is going to go by really fast because I did a lot of things digitally this week, and I will point them out here shortly. So for my number stamps this week, I am using one of my first stamp sets that I purchased, which was from Michaels, and I'm trying to play around with placement because what I really would like to do is have the 0 and the K, kind of the end of that, line up. And I almost stamped them together but decided to stamp them separately because I wanted the 1 to be a little bit closer to that 0. So I just go ahead and stamp the 0 first to make sure it's lined up where I want it to, and then grab that 1 and stamp that closer to that 0, and I really like how it came out. So the last thing I'm going to do for this title card is grab my Heidi Swap Roller Date stamp and stamp out the dates on that label and stick it down. Now, while I am doing that, why don't I go ahead and tell you guys about this week. It was actually a really eventful week. Last week, my friend ended up surprising me with a gift card for an early birthday gift. So this week, I was able to do some online retail therapy shopping, which is always a bonus, and that delivered. My sister surprised me with a gift she made me, which I did do an unboxing, and I'll link it up in the upper right-hand corner. She made me a pen, which is the most amazing pen ever. We surprised the girls with Chipotle for dinner one night, and anytime I don't have to cook is always an added bonus. And then lastly, yesterday, my husband and I decided to go on a mini date day and head up north to a local casino to check that out, which was a lot of fun. And then on the way back, we stopped at Lowe's and ordered a new stove because the one we currently have is over 20 years old, so it's about time we got a new one. So that should be delivered in about 2 weeks. So yeah, it was a very eventful week this week, and it was a lot of fun. So now that the title card is done, I just want to show you the picture of the Chipotle order. I had put a Kelly Stamps Nom 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 digital stamp from the Snacksident over on top of it and just kind of made it a little see-through and called that one done. Then grab my journaling card and run it through my typewriter. Then for that 6x4 photo of my Amazon order, I ended up journaling directly on my photo in Photoshop and then used some digital stamps from In a Creative Bubbles Retail Therapy stamp set and called that good. So the next journaling card that I am going to work on is one that I actually made on Photoshop with some digital stamps. That top stamp that says today was and it has that bar to fill in is from Everyday Explorer's Lockdown Life stamp set. And then that bottom one that says enjoyed this so much is from Feed Your Crafts Happy at Home digital stamp set. So because I was able to do this on Photoshop, I sized the photo to fit in between it perfectly. And now I'm just grabbing a Heidi Swap stamp set that I have that has some stars in it, and my Tim Holtz Distressed Victorian Velvet, I believe that color is? Yes, Victorian Velvet ink, and just stamping out the stars to show that it was a pretty good day. And then I'm just going to go ahead and stick that photo of me and my husband down on this journaling card and call this one good for now. So the last thing that I want to do to finish off this week's spread is the embellishments. And I have pre-selected a bunch of die cuts from my LE Studios kit, and it's in the basket on the right. The first thing I want to grab is those 3 hexagon labels, and I want to journal on them the gifts that I bought myself with that gift card from my friend. Once the journaling is done, I do play around with placement on that picture for a little bit because I'm trying to decide if I want them at the top left or the bottom left of this picture. And I do decide that I like it better at that bottom left. It kind of hides that empty space. So I go ahead and grab my tape and start sticking them down. Now, once I have that yellow one stuck down, and it does take me a little bit to get the red to kind of match up, but once I have those both stuck down, I decide that I want that green label to kind of stick out a little bit. So I have some foam stickers, and I go ahead and grab those and stick 4 of them on that green label to kind of give it a little bit of definition from those 2 labels. And I really am happy with the way that it looks once it's all done. The next die cut that I'm going to stick down is that red heart, kind of like a flag. I'm just going to stick that on that top right corner of that photo of me and my husband, and then use my Heidi Swap little stapler, just kind of give it a little bit of a embellishment and call that one done for now. And then lastly, the last die cut that I have is that black one that says heart full of gratitude. And I'm just going to pull it over on this journaling card and just stick that one down and call that one done. So the last thing I am going to do to finish off this week's spread is put down some puffy stickers. And as you guys can see, I have a little bit of an obsession with puffy stickers, but I'm going to use my LE Studios Tiny Shapes and Dots puffy stickers. I'm going to start by putting a red heart on that journaling card. Then I'm going to put a gray heart and then a pink heart on that photo of me and my husband to try to kind of match the journaling card next to it. Then I'm going to grab a gray dot and put that on my date label on my title card, kind of as the dash between the dates. And lastly, I'm going to put 2 black hearts down, one above the hexagon labels and one above that heart full of gratitude die cut. And then I'm going to call this week's spread good. Thank you guys for watching this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week with my next process video. Thank you. Bye.